Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I have been updating you guys through Dojo the best I can. I know Miss Shook is also updating you guys with kind of homeroom situation stuff. I will tell you that we are working on getting packets together for you guys. Nothing new, just review work for you guys to work on as we continue this break. I pray that you do spend some time reading and working through this packet information, not to just bog you down with schoolwork, but because we have worked really hard this year, and I would hate for it to all go for nothing. So this work is designed to just kind of review with you guys. It's nothing new. It is just things that you can review that we've already learned. That way you don't forget how to do these things. Every day I will still be able to post on here to read aloud to you guys. I will keep updating you over Dojo. I'm also going to be trying to use Google Classroom. The only thing that you need to know to get into Google Classroom is like when you go to Google, you would sign in, and you're going to sign in with your email address. That would be your first three of your first name, first three of your last name, last four of your power school at nrms.org. And then your password for that would be EESBears3. If you don't know how to do that, you don't remember, please reach out to me over Dojo. I will try my best to help you. I know it's really hard when we're not together, but don't panic if you can't get into Google Classroom, because the very same things that I'll be posting there will be put together for you guys in a packet that you should be able to pick up this week. We're shooting for Friday. That is not set in stone. So just keep watching Dojo for updates. Keep listening to Connect Ed calls. Miss Griffin will be updating you as well. As soon as I know things, I will be letting you know. So, but as of right now, there's nothing more we can do aside from just play the waiting game. But we can start reading some of our rules. So we will be reading rules again today. We'll pick up right where we left off. All right. So as we left off, Jason was asking Catherine, what do guinea pigs eat? And so she kind of goes back and forth, talks about the magazines, and they ate the library book. So we're picking up there. I kind of stopped mid-chapter yesterday because the video was running a little long. So it says, but I think carrots are their favorite. I lean away from Jason. They can hear me snap a carrot all the way from the kitchen. Jason closes his lips tight. Thank you, Catherine, new and words. No problem. I stare at the rows of plain black and white cards and wish that all his cards were colorful. Would you like me to make more? Awesome. Tell Mom. Excuse me, Miss Morehouse. Jason wants me to make him more words. She walks over and I watch her eyebrows go up as her gaze sweeps Jason's book. How many cards would you like? She asks. I don't know where my voice comes from, but it says all of them. She looks surprised but hands me the whole stack. When she's settled back with her magazine, I slide the blank cards into my shorts pocket. I'm sorry I drew you that day, I whisper to Jason. Don't picture me. I didn't mean any. Hi, Jason. For the first time, I'm sorry to see his speech therapist stride into the waiting room. How's his day going? She asked his mother. Wonderful, Mrs. Morehouse says. In fact, he was so anxious to come to speech today, he even changed his shirt for you. Do you think he really changed his shirt for her? How nice, the therapist says. We do have fun. 2 fingers tapping her nose and swinging down to her other hand. Don't we? Cheesy grin. Remember, she thinks Jason's hard of hearing, but we know he's not. Jason sneaks his hand over his cards. Speech, woman, stinks a big one. I nod and tap very much. As his therapist pushes his wheelchair toward the corridor, Jason glances back to me. See you Thursday, I say. His therapist's voice grows softer the further she goes. I turn to my rule collection and add, some people think they know who you are when they really don't. Next chapter. If you could only choose one, pick carefully. On Wednesday morning, the minivan is gone from the driveway next door. So I busy myself collecting words and phrases for Jason in the blank spaces of my sketchbook. Words from commercials, conversations, and books run between my doodles and across the back of my drawings. The driveway remains empty until after dark. An hour before OT on Thursday, I lay my sketchbook open on my desk and flip the pages, hunching for the right words and phrases to put on Jason's cards. Why not? He already has why, but why not is pushier, like why, with a fist on its hip. Out my window, I see the minivan still parked next door. Why not? Because Mom's calling clients and Dad's at work, so David's my responsibility. That's why. Just for an hour, Mom said, until we have to leave for OT. I've put on a Thomas the Tank Engine video, so he shouldn't be any trouble. I pull forward 2 blank cards and scrawl, "Yeah, right," and "whatever." I know she needs me to babysit sometimes, but I hate when she tells me he shouldn't be any trouble. Trouble comes quick with David, and should doesn't have anything to do with it. He should remember to flush the toilet too, but that doesn't mean it happens. When Mom had gone, I took my long mirror off my door and had propped it at an angle against one corner of the living room, so I could work at my desk and still see David reflected in the mirror. Every few words I make, I glance out my bedroom doorway to the mirror. David stands at the TV, the remote in his hand. He loves rewinding the train backward up the track and speeding them ahead, almost crashing over and over. I turn another sketchbook page and choose among the words written along the edge. Sure, you bet, excellent, perfect, frustrating, pretty, and dazzling to jazz up and stretch the words Jason has in bigger directions, and joke, so he can be sarcastic if he wants. I peek toward the mirror. The TV train steams ahead, billowing smoke toward the shed. "Watch out," David repeats, a perfect imitation of the narrator's voice. But at the last second possible before the smash, David hits pause. Jumping in front of the frozen TV picture, he waves his remote in circles, like it's a magic wand. "Watch out!" On the next page is my first half-finished portrait of Jason. I pick up a pencil and add the details I couldn't add in the waiting room. Eyelashes, thick eyebrows, and the outline of his thin lips. Part of me wishes I could tear this picture out of my sketchbook and crumple it into a tight ball so I don't hear his mother scolding me in my head when I see it. But the rest of me is bothered that it's incomplete, too much like a secret. "Are you busy?" a girl's voice asks. I drop my pencil and flash a look from my unmade bed to the folded clothes piled on my bureau. Cinnamon and Nutmeg crane their necks to wink at Mom and the girl from the next door, standing in my doorway. "I saw Christy coming up the walk," Mom says, smiling. "Catherine, I have one more call to make. Could you keep an eye on David for a few more minutes? Then I'll take over, I promise." Before I can get out "no," I see Mom's legs in the mirror hurrying back toward her office. David pushes rewind, and Thomas speeds backward again. "Come in." I offer my chair, but Christy sits on the edge of my desk, crossing her feet at the ankles. "Are you busy?" she asks. "No." Seeing her up close, I know Christy will be popular, not only for her straight brown hair parted off center, shining down to her elbows, or because she looks just right even wearing frayed jean shorts and a t-shirt. Christy radiates cool, and I know it is as sure as I know David will stop that speeding train at the last second. Part of me feels sorry because she doesn't look like a flashlights and Morse code kid, but the other part of me is excited. "I'm glad Mrs. Bowman sold you her house," I say. "Well, I guess technically the realtor sold it, but I'm glad your family bought it because I've always thought it would be great if a kid lived next door. Mrs. Bowman was nice, but she was really, really old. I clamp my teeth together to keep anything else dumb from escaping my mouth." Christy drags a strand of her hair between her fingers. "I'm glad, too. I was scared I'd have to start school next year without knowing anyone." My lips spread to a smile, imagining Melissa's surprise as I introduced Christy into our group. "This is my friend Christy," I'll say. "We hung out together all summer." I glance at my doorway to my living room. Where's David? "Ryan said there's a bus stop at the end of the street." I lick my bottom lip to keep from grimacing. "At the corner." "That's great," Christy continues to twist her strand of hair. "I used to walk 3 blocks to catch the bus, even when it was freezing or raining. Mom say take the umbrella, as though anyone carries an umbrella. David insists on bringing his bright red umbrella to school, even when it's only cloudy. My mom's like that too. Leaving out isn't the same as lying. She always says, 'Well, at least wear your hood,'" I continue, like I'd want hood hair. Christy smiles, letting the twisted strand fall back into her arm. "Ryan said he lets kids wait in his house when it's raining since he can see the bus from there. But only if you're invited." I peek out the doorway into the empty living room. Part of me would like to tell Christy the truth, but I don't want our conversation to become about David. At the bus stop, I always tell him, "You have your umbrella," grabbing the back of his jacket to keep him from following Ryan's friends up the steps. Going inside is for kids without umbrellas. I would be honest, but David doesn't understand invited and not invited. He thinks everyone is for everything. "Ryan's nice," Christy says. "Don't you think so?" Nice as a cockroach. "Want some sherbet?" I ask. When you want to get out of answering something, distract the questioner with another question. "What kind?" Christy asks. "Raspberry." David rushes through my doorway, his eyes wide with panic, and an audio cassette in his hand. "Fix it!" The tape is pulled out of the cassette, hanging in a long, delicate loop. At first, I'm relieved that's all that's wrong until my guinea pigs start to squeal. With the cassette over one ear and his hand shielding the other, David yells, "Quiet, pigs!" Christy shoots a worried glance from David to the guinea pigs to me. I pry the cassette from David's finger, knowing it'll be faster to deal with the tape than the tears filling his eyes. "Don't worry, this will only take a minute." I spin the cassette around and around on my finger, wishing I had 2 more hands, one to give the guinea pigs hay to quiet them, another to cover David's mouth as he shrieks. I spin the cassette so fast my finger keeps slipping out of the hole. When the tape lies flat and tight, I slide Frog and Toad into my cassette player and push play. Arnold Lobel's deep voice joins the guinea pig squeals, and David's face lights up like Christmas morning. Halloween night and his birthday all rolled into one big grin. You fixed it! We're gonna stop there today. Keep reading at home, and I'll be able to check back in with you guys tomorrow. Keep checking Dojo for updates, and just know that I love you and I miss you, and I'm praying for you.